Hello, LaRue List Cafe uh, visitors and participants, those of you who watch from time to time. I'm so glad that you have joined me for this 10 to 15-minute chat that I'm having with you right now. I posted earlier today that last night I had had a panic attack. And I know that a lot of you, a couple hundred of you, um, have posted some comments. I've had a lot of people call me, a lot of people text me, many inbox messages, two visitors. And I just want to let you know that I'm not somewhere under the bed with a sheet over my head. I'm okay. I think I'm okay, but half the time, none of us are really okay. So I wanted to talk about it for a little while because, we have a lot going on in our lives, a lot going on in our lives. Now, first of all, I'll just tell you what happened last night. I awakened a little after midnight. My heart was racing, really racing. And I noticed that my pillow, my clothes were soaked. It really was kind of crazy. I got up, I took my blood pressure. It was off the chain. I was not short of breath, so I was happy about that. But I just felt something was happening inside of me. So, of course, the first person I always call is my son, whose phone was not on. I did get my daughter in love, who wanted to know, what do you want? And I said the most stupid thing. I said, I'm going to get in the car and I'm coming over because they live around the corner. Why would anybody feeling that way jump in the car and drive? What I should have said was, you guys come on over, but I didn't do that. I wasn't thinking. And so then I called my other babysitters who are across the street from me. I want to do a big shout out to Kim and Ali Wilson, two wonderful, wonderful people. They are wonderful parents, wonderful neighbors. They are beautiful attorneys, and they're great babysitters for me, same age as my kids. And so it doesn't matter whether it's 1 or 2 in the morning or 1 and 2 in the afternoon. When I call them, they always come over. And Ali came over and sat with me for 20 minutes, watched my crazy blood pressure as it was off the chain, heart rate was off the chain. But as he sat and we talked and he diverted my attention to other things, everything began to calm down. And I assured him I would be fine. And then Jackson, my little Yorkie, and I went off to bed. So all was well with the world. But that is what happened last night. And I had an opportunity to sit back and really reflect on what the heck is going on. Because I had been a little off kilter um, for the last, I would say, 10 days. And it's really kind of weird in a pandemic when people are talking about unemployment and trying to make ends meet. I probably have more clients across the board than I've had in a while. So business is fine. I'm doing great in the lobbying firm. Certainly not having any issues in that part of my professional life. My personal life, I think, is great. I mean, it could be better. I have a very dear friend who is fighting every day for her life with cancer. And, I talk to her 3 to 5 times a day. She's down in Georgia. She is absolutely a miracle right now. So I'm really happy about that. And of course, I just worry about that quite a bit. And then my family, they're all great. So I'm saying, what is going on here? Why are some days when I turn on CNN and MSNBC or look in my news feed or read emails, why do I get so clammed up? And it's very simple. We are living in crazy, crazy times. And I have to tell you that a week ago, when I saw the forever FLOTUS, Michelle Obama, when I saw her writing about suffering from mild depression, and she talked about the things that weigh so heavily on her mind every day and how it sometimes weighs her down. I looked in the mirror and I said, Jeannine, bingo. It's all coming. All roads are coming together. And it's overwhelming. So I want to talk about 3 areas that overwhelm me. And I think some of them may overwhelm other people and what I plan to do about it. Because I think that one of the first steps in healing is confession, admission, acknowledgement. And that's what I'm doing. And because so many of you weighed in with me on the bike and my bout last night with my health, then tag you're it. I'm going to talk with you about how I feel. And maybe you'll start talking to other people about how you feel and also try to do something about it. I want to start with the pandemic. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. There are days my fellow human beings absolutely piss me off. All right. So there you have it. They piss me off. Now, why would they piss me off? Because they didn't do anything about this pandemic. They didn't create it. But you know what? Many of them are acting irresponsibly for people like me, someone 70 years old. A lot of my friends have died from this pandemic. I have lost close relatives from this pandemic. So, why in the world would people who congregate 25, 30 people within each other, even though it's outside, refuse to put on a freaking mask? What is that all about? People like me don't want to stay within these four walls all day and all night. I have just begun to start going out. I now walk 2 to 3 miles every morning, about 6 o'clock in the park, a group of women. I'm really enjoying that. I am biking again. I'm really enjoying that. And to bike with my son, my 50 some year old son, me at 70, and I can keep up with him and even go up hills. I love that. So I love that. But I have to tell you, I see so many people, they don't even fake it. They don't even have the mask like swinging on their hands. Some people will have them on their hands or in their pocket. They are just walking around with no mask. I don't understand it. I don't know what people don't get about this pandemic and the fact that we may be moving into a cycle that is much worse than what it was in March, April, and May. Do we really want to go through that again? Empty shelves, panicking, people can't find anything. I remember my supermarkets, they didn't even have chicken on the counter. We're going to go through that again. And it's all because folks are not respectful enough to just put on a freaking mask. So I did want to talk about that. Um, the other thing, irrespective of how you are ethnically, whatever ethnic you are, you cannot not be affected by what is happening in this whole arena of social injustice. There's no way in the world anybody cannot be affected by what is happening in our society. And as a mother of a son and a grandmother of two young guys who are driving, one 25 and one will be 18 next month, I have to tell you, there are days I am just so despondent and worried. I just want them to always come home. And I'm not one of those persons who is just totally anti police. I don't believe in defunding the police. I actually am the communications person for the Fraternal Order of Police for the state. But you know what? I am not so blind that I have my head in the sand to sit here and try to convince you that there aren't people in blue uniforms who just target young Black men and even some older Black men like my son, where they just give them a hard time. It wears on me. I just want this world to be better. I want us all to try to work together, to be more humane to each other, to be kinder to each other, more respectful to each other. I see some crap on Facebook, and because part of this whole social media platform, it's part of my professional life. So if I cut down, just cut all you guys off, it will also cut off of one part of my livelihood because I am a public relations person. I'm a lobbyist. And but half of this crap, I don't want to read what's on your freaking mind and how you feel about Black people and who feels what about who's married to whom. I don't care. I don't care that people don't want to talk about Black Lives Matter, because at the end of the day, I don't care how you feel about it. All lives can never matter until Black lives matter. It's just not going to happen. So get over yourselves. We got to figure out to make Black lives matter so we can move forward. And finally, before I get off of my soapbox and hit in the broadcast and let you all go back to your little Saturday thing, whatever you're doing, I'm going to go have a nice glass of wine after I finish getting all this stuff off of my little chest. But this upcoming election, again, it doesn't matter to me what you all believe in, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, independent, I don't care. There is no way you can convince me that you feel good about what you're seeing coming out of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue as it relates to this election. It is outrageously disgusting. I believe that it borders on being criminal. And it bothers me because I want a fair and clean election. I care who wins, but I'm going to tell you right now, all of the shenanigans of ordering 700 mailboxes to be put on the back of a truck and taken off, or I'm not going to fund the postal system, and actually saying why he doesn't want the postal system funded. Even if you are a staunch Trump supporter, you cannot with a straight face say that you believe this. Do you get mail? Do you get any mail yourself? Do you not believe that as a citizen, you should get your mail on time? There aren't many things the government is totally responsible for. And one thing for sure, they're responsible for our mail. They're responsible for our health care and our safety. Government is responsible for our schools. And to hear this and to get so close to this election, I tell you, it pisses me off. It really, really does. And finally, my final words. Hashtag, I have her back. Hashtag, a whole lot of people have her back. I have been so sickened by the crazy crap that I am hearing after Joe Biden made his announcement who he was going to have as his running mate in this election. Everybody knew it was going to be a woman. People were thrilled. Finally, he says right up front, men need not apply. He didn't exactly say that, but that's what he meant. And I know African American women in particular were really excited that it could be an African American woman to be on the ticket. There were several of them in the finale. And then when the announcement was made, I was so excited. I was so excited. At that point, I didn't care. I'm going to be honest with you. I wanted somebody of color, but even if it had been the governor in Michigan, and I look at the way she treats her lieutenant governor, who's an African American male, I could have been all right with that as well. But I was thrilled when he made his announcement. And then to see, even in Black Twitter, that some Blacks would have the unmitigated gall to talk about the fact, well, she's not really that Black. Really, really, folks? I don't know. You might have been part of the group of people that Harriet Tubman would have said, hey, hold that thought. I'll come back for you guys tomorrow. You stay right there. I'll be back tomorrow. Because that is outrageous that you would even say something crazy like that. Oh, did you see who she married? She married a white man. Come into my family. Talk to my twin. Talk to my sister. Talk to my aunt. They married white people. I got a whole lot of nieces and nephews. Married white people. Get over it. If we really want to be equal, stop this crazy BS about who somebody marries, who they love, who they sleep with. Really, folks? Really? We have her back. And then for the guy who's occupying 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, he's now going to start the whole birther thing again. Old news. Did he hear that that's old news? So all of these things weigh on me. And I know they weigh on a lot of other people. I want this election to be over. I want after November or December, whenever the votes have been counted, I hope it doesn't go to the Supreme Court because we saw how that worked out with Gore. So I hope it doesn't have to go that far. But folks, I just want to wake up January 20th, 2021, knowing that this democracy is intact and that we can really rebuild the soul of this nation because I love this country. But I am telling you right now, what's been going on for the last almost 4 years and what is happening even in our lives right now, where we can't even get the government to be honest with us about the best way to handle a freaking pandemic. We are at the mercy of just trying to figure it out ourselves. It's too much. So if you're feeling some of the stress, mild depression, panicking, whatever you want to call it, let me just say this to you. To admit it to yourself and others, there's no shame in that game. There's no weakness to it. Because you know what? If we start talking about it, we can start doing something about it. And if we can start doing something about what we're feeling, then we can heal. It's all about the heal. So next week, LaRue's Cafe will be back in the saddle again, bigger and better than ever. Thank you for letting me intrude in your Saturday evening. I'm going to go have a nice glass of red wine. And you know what? Next week, we'll talk about it. Thank you.